place. If you're here to learn about AI and all that that's about, I want to make sure that awesome. We have Dallas, Texas in the house. Beautiful. If you're just joining, we were just doing some mini interactions and letting us know in the chat where you're joining us from. But today we are talking about AI made practical. Now, a lot of people, hi Colleen, welcome. Thanks for joining. Now, a lot of individuals and everyone on here, I know some of your businesses, I know maybe even some of your companies because we're connected in some way, either virtually or in person. But sometimes I feel as business owners, certain conversations, we don't always enter the chat. And I feel AI for a few people has been one of those topics. So, on today's workshop, I decided to break down for education business owners specifically, as well as service providers, exactly how it is that we are supposed to use this whole AI thing to simplify, systemize, and scale your business. So we're going to be together today for probably an hour, and we're gonna have an interactive time. Okay, so I want to let you know that we are very much uh, we're very much hosting this in a couple spaces. We're live in a few places right now. So I'm going to jump right in. Okay, so bonjour, je m'appelle Elise. Now, the reason why this is written in French is because I am the founder of The French Tutor, which is an education-based business. And we've been around since 2015. And our whole premise is to make sure that students who are in French immersion schools get to mastery in their reading comprehension. Literacy is our main focus. And I also wear another hat where I act as a business coach and mentor for other education business owners and service providers. Okay. Now, I have built in the last few years a six-figure education brand done by mastering visibility, credibility, and strategic offers. And we'll dive into what some of those pieces are today and how that can be transferred to your business through even the use of AI. All right. Now, one of my main missions has been to help educators, that was definitely a starting point, go from hidden and hustling. So you'll learn I completely reject hustle culture. I'm just not going to promote it. Okay. And I want you to know that it's possible to go to seen and sought after and scaling and growing, all of those things. And remembering, starting with the thought in today's conversation, that you have the gift. You're the expert. Okay. In your business. Even if we all teach reading or we all teach math or we all do the same service. Okay. You're the magic sauce in your business. Okay. So now it's about how do you shape that business that reflects not just the service itself, but your values, amplifies your voice, and multiplies your impact. Okay, hi Emily, thanks for joining. So we're diving right in. Now, what you'll learn about me is that every workshop I do, it's never a spectator show. It's never the spectator show. You are going to be doing the thing. So we're not just looking and we're not just on the other browser. We're not just playing a game on our phone. We're doing the thing and we're learning as we go through these implementation pieces together. Now, by the end of today's session, here are the goals. You're going to have three goals. The first one being your own personalized AI prompt framework. So this is going to be built around your tone, your voice, okay, if you will. And it's going to move us away from the copy and paste prompts that people often say sounds robotic. Okay. The point of AI is not for someone to look and say, yeah, you're using AI. You have the same post I have. We're not doing that. Okay. The second goal for today's conversation is we are going to get you one complete workflow you can use immediately. So we're going to go through the process together. We'll open things at the same time. We'll paste things at the same time. Because what I want you to do is get the flow that works for you, but I'm going to handhold you in the process. So we're all going to link hands actually and get through this together. Now, whether that is for some of you, and I want to just get the wheels turning a bit, whether that's a follow-up sequence, if what you do includes follow-up, being a necessary piece. I want you to get that locked in for today. Whether it's generating content, if you actively post and show up places, which you should if you're a business owner, I want you to have that locked in and understand the flow, the how to of it. And then maybe it could be if you are in a certain field where clients could use a resource, could have your knowledge packaged, have something tangible to hang on to. I want you to leave with how to do that. Okay. And finally, I'm going to give you a clear roadmap of how AI fits in your business. So this is where you will at some point have to speak back to me or type back to me and let me know the details of what you do, because the personal touch is going to have to come from you letting me know what's your differentiator. Okay, beautiful. So if you're ready to jump in, guys, type a one in the chat. Are we ready? Emily, isn't it like super early in Alaska? You're on this call. What? Emily's out in Alaska, guys. Type a one in the chat. Okay, alrighty. So type a one in the chat if you're ready to hop in. Okay, it's 8 a.m. for you. Good, good. Okay, yeah. So we're in EST. So let's dive in. Now, here's what the implementation flow is going to be. Remembering that I said that I don't just have you looking at me during this presentation, I have you doing with me during this presentation. So firstly, it's going to be important to diagnose. There is no point in us diving into an AI topic, which for some people, it's been very experimental. You're throwing things at the wall, hoping it sticks, when indeed you should be knowing what's broken. Hey, what is it that is causing me a little bit more time, headaches, frustration? What is it? What's broken? Okay, we're going to diagnose. Then you're going to learn the AIM method. So the AIM method is what I call my method with understanding and implementing AI into your business. And that's going to break down exactly what automate, integrate, and monetize, how it comes to life. Then you're going to build live with me. We're going to build. Okay, we're going to reflect and map your next AI move. And then the optional step is you can always work with me personally. You can speak to me privately. That's always going to be an option on every workshop that we do. Okay, so let's first and foremost bust some myths. Let's bust them. And here's the thing with myths. Myths is a call for us to acknowledge even some of these thoughts that have existed within ourselves, right? I've had some of these thoughts and it has evolved over time quite a bit. But let's address the elephant in the room. There's a lot of people who think they will verbatim say AI is going to replace educators and service providers. Here's the truth. AI does not replace experts. It replaces inefficiency. Now I stand on that. I stand on that because if you on this call know how to think, teach, and create, AI becomes your amplifier. It amplifies you. That is the point. Now, I speak about AI all the time, and we're not going to go down that road today. But of course, with any new technology, anything that is forward thinking, there's going to be negative uses of it. But our mindset is moving in the positive, right? We're not using it for how people have been, for dishonest reasons. And, we're looking at how can it amplify what you do. Therefore, don't view it as a threat, use it as leverage. Okay? So even if these thoughts still exist today, I want to invite you to new ways of thinking about this whole AI movement. Now, number two, another myth a lot of people say, it takes too long to learn. It takes too long to learn. Now, what if I told you the truth is actually it takes longer to avoid it? So once you, as the business owner on this call, can understand how to talk to AI properly, how to speak to AI properly for my English teachers on this call, it becomes your fastest employee. Think of it that way, where we're looking in the positive, right? So think of it, how's it going to become my fastest employee, working 24/7, never tired, never late? Wouldn't you rather have a machine that doesn't burn out as opposed to a human? Right? So think of it that way. Open up your mind to expanding how to view AI. Myth number 3. A lot of us feel this way, especially if we're not the tech people, the tech template. It's only for techie people. Here's the truth. You don't need to be technical to engage with AI. You need to be clear. That's what it is. AI responds to clarity, not code. You don't need to be a software engineer to be in an AI field and master it. The better that you know your audience and your offer, the better your results will be. So for those who have not explored AI fully, for those who have dabbled, okay, today's going to help bring a lot more things to life for you and even a lot more comfort, I hope as well. Because the goal is to explore something, we got to go in with an open mind, and that's what I'm hoping everyone on this call is doing, okay? Now, two more myths. AI content sounds fake or robotic. Because I have been playing around with AI, probably very closely since 2020, I, right now, present day, I can usually tell when a little AI is going on. But that, it doesn't repel me. Sometimes it excites me because I see AI being done very well. I'm like, man, this is good. This is really good. But that's because the user has known what to input into the AI. If I'm seeing the same thing over and over again, and you'll know as educators and as people in business, there's some words that they're so trendy. And you're like, okay, yeah, I can sprinkle that word in, but if the unlock, right? And if building a child's confidence, yes, that's in my marketing as well, but it's not, oh, there's more to it. Okay, so looking at exploring how do you make it your voice so it's not fake or robotic. And when I see AI that sounds fake or robotic, the truth of the matter is that's a user problem, not an AI problem. Okay, so don't think that because something sounds robotic, oh, AI is the issue, we all sound the same. No, we're losing our critical thinking mind. That's the issue. But the critical thinkers, the ones who are using it to amplify, are the ones who are really making AI do what AI is intended to do. So when you train your AI to your tone, your stories, your examples, it becomes an extension of your voice. How powerful, okay? How powerful. And what we're looking at hopefully doing as well is AI being, one moment. Are we seeing my screen, everyone? The myths? Just type a yes if you're seeing the myths in the chat. Beautiful. Okay. So AI is just for saving time. That's the 5th myth. Now, I'll be honest, a lot of people go into AI with this mindset. That is why they want to use AI. But the real power of AI is being that, like I said, that all star employee, that all star arm that doesn't get tired and can't be burnt out, and using it to build systems, create revenue, freeing your mental space so that you can focus on high impact work. Because who wants to spend their time spinning their wheels when there's a machine that can do it for us? What a gift in 2025 and beyond. What a gift in the present day as a business owner. Okay, so remembering AI isn't magic, it's a mirror. It reflects the clarity, creativity, and structure that you bring to it. So if you've been intimidated by it, and that's okay if you have, today's the day that stops. Let's dive in. So, my 3-part framework for using AI effectively. So, the first one, and we spoke earlier in our intro that it falls under, okay, the acronym AIM, AIM. So the A is for automate. Of course, let this thing do work for you while you're sleeping, while you're having that afternoon siesta. let this do some work for you. So automation is a big part of it. Now, when we think of automation, I want you to think of the repetitive admin tasks that we all don't like doing. I don't like doing. Okay. The batch content making. If you have to speak to an audience, hopefully about the same thing, which is your business, over and over again, there's a way for you not to have to log in and do the thing every day or even every week. Okay. If you plan properly. And then email follow ups, just examples of what things can be automated. Now, when I talk about I is for integrate. So using AI tools with what you already use. So a lot of us have similar systems on the back end, but often we're treating them all in a silo, meaning we're having to spend time in each individual pocket when AI can be plugged in, if you know what to do and know what to plug in, to make all of those pieces connect easier. And that is the goal. So just some examples. A lot of us may use Google already, Canva, if you need design stuff or any uh, more, yeah, design oriented, no matter what you're working with. Canva, if you don't have it, look into it. And MailerLite, that's an email platform. It's just putting some examples, fill in your blanks. I'm pretty sure the system you're using has AI capabilities attached to it. Okay. And then finally, M is monetize. So, monetize is when you turn your ideas into paid assets or evergreen offers because you'd be surprised at what you think is, oh, this is a given. Everyone knows this. People are paying. People are paying for that thing. So we'll talk about that as well. And even you might even build one on today's call. Okay. So the truth is, you don't need more tools. You need smarter systems. You need smarter systems. Let's dive in. Simplify the tasks that drain your energy. So this is just elaborating a little bit more on you starting to think about, even as we're chatting, what are those repetitive tasks you're doing every week? What are the templates you could develop that you find yourself doing every week that should be something that by now feels a little bit easier. Okay, so it's about an AI assistant. What can you be doing? What can someone else, something else be doing that you're doing all the time, ongoing, present day? Okay. Secondly, we spoke about it being about integrate, right? So I want you to think about what platforms you already have. That's what we're doing now. We're brainstorming our own respective platforms we already use, okay? And thinking about where our AI could come into play. Or just maybe your step is just thinking about what platforms you use, okay? And my job is going to be sharing with how it all comes together. And then M, so the monetization. This is so exciting for me. We're actually going to build you a digital product today on today's call, and you're gonna see how you can very quickly, like in an afternoon, put together a product that sells, which is very exciting. Okay, so here's our demo one. So this implementation time. So I want everyone to make sure you are participating actively. Okay, use this workshop for your benefit. It is for you. It is for us as business owners to grow together, and let's get to working together. All right, here we go. So this is where we're going to create a week of content in 10 minutes. And how about this? Less than 10 minutes. Okay? Because it's very much plug and play. So our goal is to start with your tone, audience, and message. Then I want you to use my preference is ChatGPT, but I want you to use what you've been using, whether it's Copilot, whether it's Gemini. Claude has become very popular recently. Okay. So I want you to type in the chat, what AI platform have you been using the most? And I ask that, type in the chat, let me know what AI platform have you been using the most? Because that's the one that's going to know you the best. Now, without that being scary and oh my goodness, it's listening, it's what we got to lean in. ChatGPT fans. Okay, good. Excellent. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to open up your AI platform. And if you're new to I still want you to, looks like there's some Chat GPT fans. You don't have to be signed up. I want you just to open it. Google Chat GPT, if you will. Open it. You're still able to use it as a user without being uh, kind of signed up. I pay for mine. I'm a subscriber, but you can still use it. Okay, so open it up. Now, I want you to, and I am actually going to stop sharing for a quick second because I'm going to give you the prompt in the chat that you're going to plug in to your, just to make it easier, not have you, okay? So the first prompt, it is going to have you filling in the blanks, okay? So what I like about how I've trained my AI is you've got to give it as much detail as possible without, you know, without spending all your time doing that as well, right? Don't overthink it, essentially. So in the chat, you're going to see the prompt you're going to put in. Now I need you to fill in the blanks. So the prompt reads, you are my content strategist. Give your AI an assignment. Don't just input, I do this. So no, content strategist now gets your AI, your machine's brain, your machine's backend activated as to this is your assignment. You are the content strategist. You're not just doing content, you're doing content with intent and with a strategy behind it. Now, my business helps who? Who does your business serve? I would say my business helps French immersion students with French or reading comprehension mastery. Who does your business help? My business helps if you serve other businesses. My business helps healthcare corporations with educating employees on mental health awareness. Fill in the blank specifically for you. Okay. That is your first assignment. Plug it into your ChatGPT, your Claude, your Gemini, your Copilot, whatever is most comfortable for you. Even if you're still in experimentation mode, pick one. Has everyone plugged it in? So yes, literally look in the chat, copy and paste exactly what I shared with you, but fill in your blanks. Excellent.
Right.
Beautiful. Now the second step that you're going to take, your second step is written in the chat. Excellent. We have a lot of people done, meaning you are not, it's not your first rodeo, a lot of you with AI. Now the second prompt, I'll repost it. Write 5 posts in my tone. Once again, your tone needs to be described in 3 words. That's okay. Steph, do you need the first prompt again? I can, if you can't see it in the chat. Okay, beautiful. So for those on prompt number 2, and maybe I will number them, okay? Prompt number 2 is write 5 posts in my tone, and I need you to describe your tone. Are you friendly, confident, and knowledgeable? Do you want to sound professional, uh, serious, or professional, serious, and knowledgeable? Some people don't want it to be ha ha ha. Some people do. It's like, oh, I like to be a little bit witty in my tone because that's sort of my audience's vibe. Okay. Second prompt is write 5 posts in my tone and fill in the 3 pieces of what your tone is. Friendly, confident, and knowledgeable was mine. You can also be the same, but you can also be different. And guess what? Because of who you serve and exactly how you identify your audience with what result, that's where our differentiator comes into play. Okay, so that was prompt one. Steph, I will repost prompt two for you. Okay, but filling in the blanks, that suits you. Excellent. So who has completed prompt one, prompt two? And now I wouldn't mind if someone either wants to paste one of the results, right? Because we did get 5 posts, 5 outputs. So who wants to post one in the chat or read it to us out loud? What was one post that your platform spit out for you? Let's get that in the chat. Just one person, just one. We can see how we're going to work on challenging and refining our AI because what I don't want anyone to do is stay at the surface, leave today's call remaining at the surface of AI. Beautiful. Thank you, Emily. So, Emily, we'll read yours as a group, okay? So, if your child is struggling, it's not always a skill issue. Sometimes it's a confidence issue. Yes, Emily. When a child starts to believe, I'm just not good at this, they stop trying. This is why I focus on confidence first, mastery second. Because when a child feels successful, they become successful. Confidence becomes mastery, mastery becomes motivation, and that's where the academic breakthrough happens. Emily, yes, that is pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, that's excellent, but I know you're an AI user. I know that firsthand through this post. That means the clarity of yes, excellent, well done. That means the clarity of who your business serves and everyone who's listening and reading that, the clarity of the input shows me in the output. That's what I'm speaking about, okay? And the core result, it's getting to mastery, okay? Now, Emily, the only thing I would challenge on this, because I want to be blinders on a little bit more in this, I would want to know kind of where your give me your subject that you teach because in there if I was a parent reading that for the first time I would just want to challenge that a little bit more, so I would just say even if you tell your AI add a parent example or make sure my subject matter is explicit in this post without losing the overall tone and meaning. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, cool. All right. Faith and Works Micro School. I'll read yours out loud. Strong leadership equals strong learning. When principals create a culture of engagement, collaboration, and high expectations, student achievement follows. We partner with school leaders to build systems that support teachers and empower students because great schools don't happen by chance, they happen by design. Principals, what's one leadership move that's made the biggest difference in your school this year? Share your insight below. Awesome. So tell me, uh, where would that post exist? Is that Facebook, LinkedIn? Where is that one showing up? LinkedIn. Okay, cool. All right. I see that working very well on LinkedIn. Now, for Facebook, I would challenge that post only because that's my job here. I want to be blinders on as much as possible. Is if anyone coming into your Facebook or that exists outside of LinkedIn, I'm sure maybe you are connected to more school leaders in your LinkedIn space on purpose. Now, if you're putting that on Facebook, maybe there's a way where the net can be casted slightly wider. So even you use it more as it's now a share factor. It's not okay, this is a closed door, only principals allowed, but it's more, okay, this is now perhaps a value add for educators alike. Okay, so sometimes it's not about, okay, you're my ideal buyer, but your eyes are on this and you maybe have influence to get this to the people, or you liking it gets it to the right person seeing it. Okay, so Stephanie's saying, I almost feel like AI sounds better than me sometimes, and that's scary. And it makes me hesitant to post. And that's okay. That's a mindset thing. I can relate to you in that way because a lot of us aren't, our everyday speak may not be polished. Why should it be? Why can't we use slang or use our short forms or local speak if we feel like it? That's our freedom, right? But when it comes to business and speaking about the business, I have become okay with AI sounding better than me because guess what, Steph? Your friends and family who you're probably concerned with not sounding like you, right? Or them knowing that's not how you speak in real life, that's okay. Who you're looking to connect with is your ideal buyer. So we have a business voice. I have a business voice. We have our friend and family hanging out on the couch Saturday night voice. And that's okay. That's the human of it. And I think the more you invite people in through building the brand and the content that connects to them, the more when they meet you and you, the human, it's already, the connection's already there. It's already built. Very few times. And if you're also mixing video with written, that also helps. So they're not shell shocked or catfished when they come into your environment and they're like, hold on, I didn't expect you. I haven't seen that when done consistently. Just show up as yourself. Let the AI be the written form of things and let you be the voice of things. It works quite well. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Now we've refined. So for those of you, I mean, keep refining your AI in your platform. But I actually want you to, and this is where Faith and Works Micro School, where one piece of content, it can be formatted for multiple uses. So don't ever think, oh, I made this only for LinkedIn. Absolutely not. You are allowed to exist on more than one platform, and every platform will have its different uses. Now, as a business owner, I don't recommend you doing probably more than two platforms as a priority. Of course, you can explore other ones, but don't invest all your brain power into platforms that aren't going to serve you. So a lot of educators exist. If you own education business, Facebook is a good one because parents, your ideal buyer, exists on Facebook. If you are dealing more with corporations and organizations, I would prioritize LinkedIn. I would. But don't count yourself off of one platform because you have a priority one. So I got onto TikTok maybe about a year ago, and TikTok's a whole other ball game. But TikTok is now me showing up a little bit differently. TikTok, you can lean out and be differently creative. So I ask you to prioritize based on where your buyers exist. If they're parents, look at Facebook, look at Instagram. If it's businesses, prioritize LinkedIn. Okay. And TikTok helps you invite people into your space where you can be a little bit more. There's a lot of more silly element that can come into play, creativity, and I have gotten DMs to attend parent council meetings and met introduction to school boards through TikTok as well. But prioritize your first two, then consider expanding, okay? So, keeping in mind, whatever pieces of content you develop, you can always add your own refining pieces. You can, and say, okay, like Faith and Works Micro School, the strong leadership post, beautiful already as it is for LinkedIn, and now just challenge it. Say, uh, make this make this applicable for Instagram and Facebook and see what it spits out. That same version of content. Okay, so just letting you guys know how expansive this can actually be. Now, most people let AI talk at them. So there's people who will plug in the first prompt and, yep, what you gave me is what you gave me. No, no, we got to refine it. Keeping in mind, we are the expert, we are the input. Okay, so always consider yourself, say, you know what, I'm a critical thinker. I own this thing. I am the magic sauce in this business arrangement. Okay, let people know the differentiator factor. Even if you know your differentiator factor, if you say, hey, my micro school is faith based, plug that in. That's your differentiator. Okay, if you focus on mental health, say, I need mental health from a certain community. Okay, plug in your expertise, your differentiator. I went to French immersion school. Now I exist and lead in the French immersion space. I got to let you know that in my content. Okay. So the whole goal is get results that sound like you. So Stephanie, when we talk about it not it's sounding better than you, I doubt that because you're gifted. You're a gifted person, but it can be intimidating. But just keep plugging in, keep refining, and let the results sound like you in terms of your ultimate your ultimate outcome you want to achieve. Okay? Well done. So we're powering through this, but everyone's going to get a recording in case you need to stop and go back to these. Okay? Oh, yeah. ChatGPT is, man, ChatGPT was excellent. So good. And I say that with someone who came in like in 2020, ChatGPT, like, what in the world? It's great. And the more, Ruth, we plug in, the more we use our human brain to plug in the right things, then the better, the better. Yeah. Oh, this is good. So that's a whole other question. Stephanie is saying, worried sometimes about where the content is coming from. Is everything original or is AI pulling from other content on the internet? Yeah. AI is think of it as a data house. So I don't want to compare this, and I'm just name dropping like crazy right now, but like a Wikipedia, but Wikipedia on 10, right? So Wikipedia is done by input, which is why sometimes certain celebrities are no longer here on Wikipedia, and you're like, fake news. Like that's not true, but it's the human input. So AI, I have found over the years, like in 2020, there was a lot more I'd have to fact check. Now I find AI, what's going in there, man, is it ever, I would say the accuracy is above 90%. And I mean every topic. It's brilliant. I'm excited by it. But always fact check, right? Meaning we gotta use our human brain to go, where is this from? Even ask your AI that. Okay. I've done that before. So now let's talk about how we automate client or lead follow-up. So just so I know in the chat or out loud, do any of you have a follow-up sequence in place? Do you reach out to people, sign people up for your service, have meetings, pitch to people, and then you need to follow up? Whether that's parents, whether that's clients, they can be both, whether that's students. Okay, so let's talk about how you're going to follow up. Now, here's what I'll say about following up as well. There is fortune in the follow up. We cannot assume, oh, you contacted me and you don't need my service, so you're never going to hear from me again. I didn't hear back from you. No way. No way. Do you know how many times people have have lives going on where they'll tell you, I'm so glad you connected back to me. They'll say, I'm so happy you reached back out. That's what I want for you. So don't think you have to master it just now. Today, we're taking the first steps into the process, but I want you to, I'm going to give you your new prompt. So this is your new prompt regarding the follow-up sequence. Okay. And Is anyone on this call? I speak often enough to educators, so a lot of it will feel natural in your business flow. But is anyone who's not clear how they would follow up or where follow up in your business would be required? Anyone unclear of that? Do you have calls with clients and you're like, well, how would I follow up if it was just the one meeting and done? Is anyone unclear? Feel free to open up about that. Otherwise, I'm going to write you your first prompt for a follow-up sequence. Now, here's what I'll say. Follow up has there's an art to follow up. I like to be followed up with if if I intentionally am seeking out a service. I like that. I do like to be followed up with. What I don't like to be is harassed. So if it's like message 10, come on, block, right? So we got to find our follow up middle ground. Okay. So your first prompt is going to be write a 3 message follow up sequence for a fill in the blank. My example for a parent who asked about my French reading program but hasn't booked. So please fill in your blank on your first prompt. Okay. I'm gonna even give you your second prompt. Okay, so plug that in. Your first prompt for your follow-up sequence is write me a 3 message follow-up. Now, here's the beauty of follow-up. Follow-up can happen via email, SMS, LinkedIn direct message, however you have managed to connect with people in a way that feels authentic to you. And if your business is built out a little bit more robustly, I would say more than one of those method also works well. So if you're doing an email and an SMS, that can work well if that's how your business is designed. Okay. So Emily is saying here, I have 3 ideas, one for a client, one for my lead magnet, and then one when a client first starts with me. Do, 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 do. Okay, so for your client call, would it be before or after the call?
After.
Yeah. I would say I would prioritize that because that's income. Like I would just prioritize, okay, you booked a call with me. We went through a whole, you took my time. I gave you my time. I served you in this time. And now it's time for that law of reciprocity to hit my bank account. Yeah. So I'd prioritize that. Follow up for a parent who booked a call, for a client, everyone on the call. There has been a client, I'm sure, in the past. And even sometimes follow up. Let's say you have a business that you maybe the follow up may not be for a parent you spoke to recently, but how to reignite. Say, hey, man, I spoke to a parent over the summer who said they wanted some services in the fall or that they were looking to implement this kind of service in their organization. Where are those people at? Follow up. Create me a 3 message follow up for a client who said they were interested in my services next quarter, this quarter, but has not booked or connected back with me. Okay, because there's an art to re engaging people as well. So consider that. All right. And then the second prompt, once your output happens, because the way that AI works, the output is the first step. And then refining, I have never, very rarely, have I just taken what the output was and ran with it. And especially if you don't use AI that much, you have to train. You're training it. So even the sequence, the stop and go is the training. It can't all be in one splash. It has to be in segments. That's a part of building it. Okay. So your second prompt is make the tone, fill in your blank. What is your tone? Is it warm, helpful, confident? Is it concise? And even match maybe you know a personality already of who you're trying to speak to. or how you're trying to show up. So what is the tone you want that to come across as? Okay. Ruth, your dog is getting excited by all the AI stuff. Okay, good. So who wants to share? Who wants to plug in? What? Give me one. Give me the first follow-up message, whether it's email, SMS, DM. What does that look like? Let's see. Because what your next step would be to plug in what it outputted for you, okay? And plug that into whatever platforms you're already using. Be that if you have an email system, okay? If you have a CRM, if you have a direct message, you have someone's LinkedIn, you can get into their inbox. So Emily, beautiful. Okay, Emily, subject line. So it's an email, just checking in. Okay. Hi, parent name. I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to follow up and see if you had any questions about my tutoring program. I know how stressful it feels when your child is struggling, and I want you to know they absolutely can become confident with right support. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Good. Okay. Thank you for that. I skimmed that. Now, what I would say, Emily, and I know you're being so gracious. And for me, I want you to get a little bolder, uh, and call them out respectfully. Okay. And now I would also remove the word just. That's a very, more and more, our words really, really matter in the spoken word. So just typically, okay, women, we use just a lot to have a little bit of a, sorry, didn't want to bother you. Hey, can I ask you a question? So just is a permission. When you as the business owner, we have to come in a little bit more. We're being respectful, so it's a knock knock, but it's not a hey, would you mind if I drop by? It's no, I'm at the door. Ding dong. Okay. So remove just and get that subject line a little bit more punchy in terms of checking in, or if you know the child's name, does Johnny still need math help? Subject line. Does child's name still need math help? Do you guys still need this service? Okay. And then what I would say is reiterate if you can. Remember your past conversation with them and reiterate it. Say, when we spoke, you mentioned that Johnny was getting a D in their math, in their final math report card. Now, it's not meant to punch in a way that hurts, but it's a whoo, wake up. This is the service. This is the solution for what you shared Johnny was experiencing. Okay, so small tweaks will go a long way. Yes, yes. Good. Okay, so Ruth, I'm going to skim through yours, okay? Rapid fire. Here we go. I had this come back. Hi, parents' first name. Thank you for getting in touch about my dyslexia tuition program. I just want to check in and see if you have any questions about how it all works. Okay, Ruth, also, I don't know you well, but I know you through this email, or you're giving me a certain vibe through this email. So in this email, it's still very much permission oriented. What I want you to do, Ruth, is stand a little taller in this output. So I want you clearly have, right, a business that serves a niche market. This is like SOS, dyslexia specific tuition program. I am the solution. So, what I want you to do is even give a little bit more. The word I'm looking for is give a little bit more science behind it. Okay. So, even give them a study show. Study show works very well in emails. Studies show that students where we don't intervene from an academic perspective for dyslexic students, learning gaps increase by 50%. What I would love to book some time to see how we could support your child's learning. Would, difference here, Would Friday at 3 p.m. or Monday at 10 a.m. work best for you? Give them the options. Do not leave the ball in their court. That comes across differently. That follow up, as a recipient, I take it differently. If you give me the option, back burner. If you're kind of putting me against the wall. Oh, I have two options. Now I feel like I have to respond. Okay. Well done. Yeah, Emily, good job on the second email. Yeah, good. Okay. So for those who are plugging away, keep doing that. Okay. Keep doing that. And that's how you're going to scale your communication without losing connection. So it is about having a follow-up sequence that can work for everyone that you speak to, everyone that you interact with. And the goal, of course, is that you're creating content that's going to lead to responses. Content should lead to conversation. Bottom line. We don't write content. I don't write content to get a like. I don't care, right? You like it, but you're also my cousin who doesn't speak French and doesn't need this service. Thank you so much. Thank you. The algorithm thanks you, but you want people to conversation, right? The parent who DM'd me on TikTok. Are you with the school board? Can you come to our parent council meeting in November? That's who you want looking at your stuff. Okay? Good. Excellent. So keep plugging away, remembering we're building our system today, but it's gonna be a refining process. All right. Now, in the last little bit, let's talk about how you turn one idea, and this is where this will not probably be instant for a lot of you because maybe you don't even know the potential. So this is where I'm sharing with you a little bit more how you can turn your idea into a digital product. Now, you probably hear digital product, that term being thrown around, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing, and people are making real income through a digital product. And the reason why digital products do so well is because they're easily distributed because they're online. You just, yeah. And it's usually very specific. So it's very much things like a worksheet, a guide, a planner. I've even been a consumer of digital products. Someone's like, hey, I have a product. Who knows? It hasn't been the case, but let's say I build a product that helps you master AI for your French immersion tutoring business. How specific? That would be me. How much is it? $10? I'm paying it. Even if it doesn't work, I just pay $10. It's okay, right? So the example can be a worksheet, a guide, or a planner. Now, how I want you in this moment with our time, I want you to just start thinking about what is one thing your audience constantly asks for. If you could drop it in the chat very quickly, what does your audience constantly ask for? For me, I can say right away, parents want to know, I don't speak French at home. How can I help support my child? Number one thing, number one. Maybe it's parents who their kids aren't able to read. How do you give a parent some steps on how to read? How to teach their kids to read? Okay, so Emily, so it's math for younger students. Good. So in that case, what I would say is 15-minute, I mean, just throwing it out there, 15-minute a day math momentum on how your child can master fractions. And you just give them you'd be surprised as much as these things are available online. No one's really seeking it out. No one's going and saying, man, I'm spending my entire evening as a parent looking for a 15-minute activities that I have to curate. Oh, it's curated for me. Sign me up. Okay, so Ruth, GCSE English, excellent. Now, I could see, are there study guides, even things you already have in your wheelhouse that there's this thing you almost give away for free? What could that be? Okay, now I'm going to give you the prompt because, like I said, it may not be right on this call, but I want you to think of what is that one thing they're constantly asking for. And what's cool about our AI platforms, I would say they're like our brainstorm bestie. Okay. These platforms, they brainstorm in a way your mind gets new ideas, right? Through it. So your prompt is going to be create an outline for a 5-page guide that helps parents build what? 5 pages. And these online guides don't have to be anything crazy. Okay. But also ask you to include title ideas and section headings. Now, Colleen, remind me. It's just give me really high level. I just want to give everyone who's on here like ideas if possible. But uh your market, is it school boards? Is it like where does the money come in for you guys? If I can just ask very clearly, like is it through your curriculum? Is it something people purchase? Is it through speaking opportunities? Just so I know, because everyone this can be applicable to. Okay, I just got to know. Good. Okay. So school boards, principals, teachers. Excellent. Beautiful. So even if you were to, and I mean, yeah, beautiful. So you know what's interesting, Colleen? And this is going to sound a little bit maybe left field. Maybe your digital product is teaching. I think she may have left, but someone else on this call. Maybe your digital product is teaching, uh, teaching other educators how to map out speaking opportunities. Teaching them how to do the thing that you're doing. Like, hey, if you're looking to get more speaking opportunities, thanks for joining, Emily. These are the steps you take. This is your guide. This is your one-stop guide, right? Just giving you some ideas on how to formulate that. Okay. So then your second prompt is going to be include title ideas and sections headings. Let this AI thing work for you. There we go. There we go, Colleen. Yeah. Create a guide. Package it. $10. Oh, yeah. We have this available for download. Yep. This is our tried and true. Even if you want to put in little extras, here's how we follow up. Here's our presentation templates. So it's more like the points to include. You don't give your exact IP. No way. But what you're giving is the roadmap. People fill in their own blanks along the road, but that's the roadmap. Okay. A lot of people are trying to get into speaking opportunities. Okay, good. Then here's your third prompt for that. How many of you, if you don't use it yet, you're going to need to get used to Canva. Canva's where you would make a very easy digital product. Okay. I ask you to explore that a little bit closer. Okay, as we just kind of wind down. Okay. Now, the fastest way to create, and that's you building, designing your own future digital product. It's packaged, it'll be priced well, and you can actually start earning dollars today. Tons of people have something available, low ticket, $7, $10. Okay. It does well. So the fastest way to create new income is to package what you already know. AI just helps you do it faster and prettier. Keep that in mind. All right. So let's zoom through. So I want you to pause and reflect. Okay. And I'm sure you'll be reflecting way beyond this call, but what did we build today? How are we starting to think in new ways about what AI can actually be? Okay. In terms of reducing our time, saving us time. Okay, understanding where we can apply it to next. Okay, I know that a lot of you spend time frustrated over marketing, admin, delivery, sales. Where can this take me to next? And ask your AI sometimes to be a bit of your idea generator. Say, listen, I really don't like doing this task. How could you help me make that better or more digestible? Okay. And remember that your brand how you're creating your brand, how you're designing yourself, it's going to be an identity shift. So a lot of us sometimes we step into spaces as business owners and we're not all the way confident. That's okay. I've been there where it's like, I know I do this thing, but I don't want to talk about it all the time. But as business owners, you're here to be the brand that reflects who you actually are. And I'm big on that. When it comes to marketing and having a marketing background, I'm like, the more authentic marketing is as a business owner, the more I think your ideal buyer trusts you faster. If they're always seeing, and if that's you, that's cool. But they're always seeing, the business owner in the business suit and they're always coming across so polished and yeah, they got it all together, then that may not serve them. They go, okay, you know what? I don't feel connected to that. So, however your authentic self is, that's what it's about. You don't have to be louder. You don't have to be more polished. Okay. The version that's clear, congruent, and credible. You can be quiet, that doesn't mean small. Okay, you can still be strategic, intentional, and unshakable. And I want to ask you guys, what does your brand look like when you stop hiding? A lot of us, we are online, but we only show up when we feel safe to, or when, okay, it's exam time. Now it's okay to talk about my GCSE English because it's exam time. No, it's relevant all year round. Okay. And we got to get people to catch our vision in a way that's clear to them. Okay. So just keep in mind, guys, AI is not going anywhere as we wind down. You can either keep watching others use it or, as you did today, lead with it. And our whole goal today was to make it real and usable. And now you have the clarity that most people pay for. And I'm always about giving, giving. I know that's what you're doing. As educators, a lot of us, it's a give. It's a whole lot of give. Okay. But now you got to use what you give and let that resource flow back into you. Okay. I believe very strongly that we are gifted with probably multiple gifts, all of us, where the intention, yes, is to give, but there's a law of reciprocity, how things flow back into you. Okay. And you can use your resources to bless others, to give people, different opportunities, but this it's got to flow. We can't just give, 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 then we're empty. We got to flow back in, then we can pour out, right? That's how we look at the world. That's why educators are so invaluable, right? Because that's a heart a lot of people don't have, especially in today's world. Yeah, yeah. So I'm sending the replay out, Ruth, after this. Okay, absolutely. And I can probably formulate, yeah, those prompts for you as well. But I invite you to go implement one thing today. And when you're ready for the next level, just know that I will be here to help you scale it. I thank you all for joining today. In the follow-up emails, I will share a link if you wanted to chat with me one-to-one and see, okay, Elise, how can we plug this into my business? That will be available to you all. Okay. So thank you for joining. Thanks for hanging out your lunch hour, most of you with me. And I will speak to you soon. We got another workshop coming up next month, different topic, but we'll keep you posted. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being so gracious. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a good afternoon and a good day. Bye.